started, one of you said what he wants to know is, as a researcher, probably it's a demo, if I can remember, you want to know how you can use Excel to calculate, to analyze your information. So I just want to do a brief illustration with this, which I'm going to work on the descriptive statistic using Excel. Now, this is a data of a research. Data of a research, just a random figure, so to say, of a research. So this contains a sample of 10 people. Age, this is their age. This is the sex. This is their height. This their height is should not be in this format, so I decided to change it. Now, in descriptive statistic, one of the things you do is you analyze your respondents based on their information. Now, I have male, I have female. I want to know the number of male and the number of female that is part of this respondent. So basically, what I can use in that regard, what I'm using is count if. So I'll just say equals to count if what? These people, this set of people I highlighted are what? If it is male. Now, one thing is this. At this point, you need to reference your data, because the same formula you inputted for the male, you are still going to use it for the female. So in that case, you need to use your absolute reference. So it's moving down. You might not decided to phrase either column or row in G3, because it's just row movement that is going to have. Now, it's telling you that out of the respondent, 5 are male. And when I drag my formula down, out of the respondent, 5 are female. Which, when you had this today, or when you have male to female, it gave you the number of respondent you have here. Now, you have your bachelor degree, you have master degree, you have PhD, you have high school, you have masters. So these are the education qualification of your respondents. But here now, I cannot use all this. I just need to use each of the classes. So what can I do? Instead of me saying, okay, let me type bachelor, let me type master, or this PhD, or now I want to reduce this data. Now, when you want to reduce your data, that is, you want to reduce it to a, we call it a unique, you want to find the unique value of your data. Now I have bachelor, I have masters, bachelor, PhD, high school, bachelor, master, PhD. Some of this information are repetitive. They are being repeated. So I want to limit it to streamline those information. I just want to have one bachelor, one master, one PhD, one high school. So now what I'm going to do is this. You go, which means from this data, without even clicking on anything, you can just go to your data and you see this under your data tool. You come to this this is said remove duplicate. That is where you have duplicate information, it will remove automatically. When you click this, it will bring you a dialog box and it will tell you which one did you want to work on. So yes, because I've selected this data, that's why you are saying column E. Now you just click on OK, and as you will have it, he has reduced the education information to just 4. I'm copying my information again. I've copied it, I've pasted it. Now, the step you take is you highlight the data, you come to your data tab. Then from your data tab, you go to your data tools and you find remove duplicate. Then click on remove duplicate. It will bring a dialog box. This dialog box it brings is showing you some information. To delete duplicate value, select one or more column that contain duplicate. That is, if you have multiple columns that contain duplicate, you select all those columns. Then you click on select all. Then the column you select, you find it here. I get it now. Then you just go here and click OK. When you click OK, see, 6 duplicate value found and removed and remove that. Count must, so in that case, you don't need this. You have reduced your data to a unique value of what you're having. Now, what I want to do is that this is sex, this is numbers. Let me use number. So now, I now want to use this information. I copied it here. I want to paste it here. I want bachelor degree to be here, master to come after, PhD after, then high school after. What you just need to do is that you click on the cell where you want to start. We call something transpose. Transpose means what is on a should be changed to column. I was saying we want to change what we call transpose is information you have on a row, you want to paste it, but it should be on a column. If it's on a column, you want to paste it, it should be on a row. I've copied information and I've come to where I'm pasting it. I've come to the first cell. You right click. When you right click, then you see what option called transpose. When you click on that option, it will paste it in what is on a row initially. Now, no problem. Now, I want to know how many of the male owns a degree, master, PhD, and high school. So in that regard, what am I going to do? What I'm doing is I'm still using counts. So, but now when I did this, I use count. But for every other one, I'm using count ifs. I used count if here, which is just one criteria. But at this point, I'm using count ifs. Are we together? So in that case, I say equals to count ifs. Criteria. Criteria 1. What's your criteria 1 range? This range is the first one. Don't forget you are fixing.
Okay.
What should the criteria be? You are talking about sex. The sex is 1. The sex is this. But now, because the formula I'm typing now, I'm going to just copy, paste to the front, to the right. Paste to the right, paste to the right. And at the same time, I'm going to paste down. So in this regard, the sales, the male, the sex now is, when it's moving to the right, that G3 must remain G3, which means the sex, the column is to be made phrase. So in that case, I'm making only the column phrase. And that is why I have $J3. Now, criteria 2. What is other criteria? The other criteria has to do with the education. So you highlight the second criteria, which is the education. You fix likewise. Then, what's the criteria for the second one? Bachelor degree. Bachelor degree is moving on. The education is looking towards the right, and it's at the same time is going down. In that regard, the role here is to be made fixed, while the column remain unfixed. So with this, you click enter. It gives you 3. Now, out of male, how many of them have bachelor degree? Let's see. This is 1. This is 2. Male. This is the third one.
3.
So with this, I can copy my formula to the right. It's telling you 3, master is 0, PhD is 2, high school is 0. When you total this, equals to the number of 5. Now let's copy the formula down. So with this, we've been able to analyze our data. So with this, we've been able to analyze our data for the descriptive statistic, this descriptive data here. And it's just after analyzing, it's just for you to interpret what you've analyzed. They are from the observation of 10. 5 is a male and 5 is a female, out of which 3 male have a bachelor degree and 2 PhD. Why 1 female has a bachelor degree, 2 have a master's, and 2 of the respondents have high school diploma. So with this, you are good to go in analyzing your data for your descriptive statistic. Now, this is as relating to the descriptive statistic. You can also use Excel for regression, but I don't have the data for regression here because what I'm expected to teach you are just introduction, though I've dish out more than expected. So, but in my normal paid course, which will be later discussed, where we can look into the regression analysis. We're going to look into the regression analysis, but That's not for this class. So this is for the descriptive statistic. Now, where we are, or the last time, this data was populated from the PDF form which we have. Now, we have something we call pivot table. We talked about table in our Wednesday class, but we have what we call pivot table. Pivot table is a very strong analytical tools, a very strong one to that, for that matter, analytical tools. That's pivot table. With pivot table, when you understand what pivot table do, you can do a lot of things using it. Now, let me copy my data. I want to copy this data. Okay, I'm copying this data to another cell, but I want to paste special. I'm pasting special. Let me come here, copy the format. I'm copying the format, yes, so that I can have data proper. Now, we are moving towards the end of this section. We are moving towards the end of this section. Now, pivot table is a powerful tool which you use for your analysis. Now, you see my data that I've copied. I want to use pivot table for this. This, I can insert this to table as it was done last on Wednesday. My table, insert, then your table. This is a table. But now I want to use pivot table to analyze this information. Pivot table is an analytical tool. It can used to summarize data. It is used to summarize data. Now, when you come to your insert, you see pivot table. You see recommended pivot table. If I click on this recommended pivot table, it's going to give me different option. That you'll find out that when you look at it, you see that when I click on a pivot table, it highlighted all my data because it could recognize the table. Now, it now gave me different option. What do you want to this? It's giving you this sum of total sale by sum of total cost by sum of total profit by some. So it's giving you an option of analysis, or how you can analyze that data. This data that you are seeing here is giving you option of how you can analyze it. You can decide to look at the sum of sales by region. East region this, north region this, south region this. Total cost by region. This is total profit by product. Commission by category. What's our category? By category. VAT by sales rep. Average and all the rest. So if what you want to do is here, you just decided to click on any of it. And There are a lot of things which you can do by recommended pivot, but I won't want to use recommended pivot table for us. I'm going to tell you how you can create your own pivot table on your own to suit what you wanted. Because under the recommended, what you wanted might not be there, but you can change it. But that's not where I'm going. So we come to pivot table. Your pivot table recognizes your table. You could say it said table 1, and it has highlighted your table 1. It now said choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. It gives you an option, new workbook. It gives you another option, existing workbook. Do you want it in a new workbook? It means if you want it in a new workbook, when you click OK, it will open a different workbook for you, another sheet for you. It will open another sheet for you where you are going to do this thing. But now I will come back and do it again. I want new worksheet, and I click OK. He has created another worksheet for me, which is this worksheet. But what he will do is that he will create a sheet before where your data is. My data is in sheet 5, and the pivot table is here. What he brought to me is a blank table, blank pivot table. It is now left for me to now say, how did I want to analyze? What did I want to analyze? Now, there is a field here. This field is what you are feeding based on what you want to analyze. You find out that in this part, all the heading of all your column is what you have here. All heading of your column is what you have here. Now, when you come down here, it said drag feed in between. Filter. Filter means that you want to use this information to filter this thing. Column. Column means that what information out of all this heading did you want to be in column format? Then row. Out of this information, the header, which one do you want to be on row? Then value. Is there any value you are looking at? Now, I want to do a simple calculation here. I want to know my total sales per product. I'll just come to product. I'll click on product and bring it on column. You can see my pivot table here. He has highlighted all the product I have: product A, product B, product C, product D, product E. And I said what I want to do is my total sale. I'll come to my sale and click on my sales and bring it to the value here. When I bring it to value, you find out it's telling me, oh, this is sales value. I'll come to total sale and bring it here. It's telling me for product A, that's 3,000, product B, 41,000, product C, 13,000, product D, this 1,000, and product E, this 1,000, and the total of each all is what you find here. Now, what am I going to do? You find out that the way this is appearing is not appearing, it's just appearing like a number. You can decide to come to your own tab to come and do your formatting. But I will advise you that when you want to format, you do your formatting within your pivot field. How we format that? The value here. Value, under this value, you can do anything. Count. sum, average, percentage, everything is here. What you just need to do, come to this point on your value which you want to format. Click on it. It will give you a drop down list. Come to value field setting. Value field setting. You come to value field setting and click. It will give you a dialog box. Here you can change. Did you want to count? Did you want an average? You want maximum, minimum, product, standard deviation, or what did you want about that data? But what I want is sum. So with this sum, I come to number format. Click on number format. Then how do you want to format it? I want to format it as a currency. What currency? United States of Agbara. So this is it. I want 2 decimal places. I don't want 2 decimal places. I click on OK and come back here and click on OK. You find out that my value here has changed. It has changed. I might decided that, okay, I want to see total sales, total costs, total profit per product. What I just need to do in the same data of this thing, you copy your total cost and bring it here. Or you check, click your total cost, click your total profit, and click the commission you paid. So with this, you now come to each of the data and format it the way I've done to the initial one. Or better still, just come to this place, copy and paste. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
Sir, please, I think you have to take this. Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
Please, can we have the recap on this, please? I'm begging.
A recap of this. All right,
Yes.
no problem. Now, I'm going back to my data. I want to insert pivot table. I just come here, pivot table. I want it in an existing workbook. Which location? I want it to be here. I click OK. It's still the same thing that shows when I put it on a separate workbook that is showing here. Let me do this. Now, this is an empty pivot table. I want to analyze my total sales, total cost, profit, and commission by region. The first one I did it by product. But now I want to do it per region. So what I will do is this. My region, I will click on it, bring it to the row. You can see that my region, east, north, south, west, are populated in the pivot table here. Now, what is my total sales? You come to your total sales, check it. You see this box, just check. it will take you to value. Click on your total cost. It will bring it to value. You see that your pivot table is expanding. Click on total profit and you click on commission. These are all the information. You've analyzed your total sales, total cost, total profit, and sales commission by region. Now, what you are having here is not giving you the vibe that is expected. What will you do? You come to your pivot table here. You see a drop down here. Click on that drop down. Click on value field setting. Value field setting. Then you call. What we are doing is summation. Come to number format. Click on number format. What do you want? Currency. Come to your currency. Change to USD. I've changed it. I don't want decimal. It should be, the decimal should be 0. And I click OK. OK. You find out that my total sales is what I worked on. It has changed. You already has currency. So you have to do it for each of them. But if you have done one, now for each of them, you can just come and use your format painter. Click on your format painter, highlight all other information, and it will be formatted the way you want it. Any question?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
You are good now with it.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now, I'm talking about filter the other time. Your filter is, if you want to filter the data in your pivot table, you can use this column. By what? I want to filter it by date. You find out that another extension of the table is here. And when I click here, you see all the dates. All the date is highlighted. You click on select multiple item. You click on this. Then you deselect all. If you want to select, I want to filter for on the 3rd. I want to see all those costs per region for 3rd. I click on OK. It will tell me on the 3rd, it is only East region that have sales. Are we together? Then you can come here and select all again. Click on OK. It gives you this. That is as relating to this. Now, with your pivot table, you can start to create your chart. From having understand how you do your pivot table, we are now going to creating of charts. We are now moving to creating of charts. Now, what is chart? You as a data analyst, having analyzed your data, all these things, what is expected of you is not to come to the management and to be telling them, this is how I did this is how I did this. But your analysis, you can simply represent it with a chart, a graph. A chart is the pictorial representation of your data so that they can see what you have done. Now, we have different type of chart. And your chart is under, when you come to insert, you find your chart tab. On this chart tab, you find something like recommended chart. When you click on recommended chart, because I'm clicking on my data here, these are the various type of charts which we have. But you need to have understanding of what you want to present for you to know what type of chart you want to do. What type of chart did you want to present? What type of chart did you want to use? Are you using column charts? Are you using line charts? Are you using pie charts? Under pie chart, we have donut charts. We have various charts under pie chart. Are you using bar charts? These are various type of chart we have under bar chart. Are you using area chart? Are you using scattered plots, scattered graph? Are you using map? You can use a map also to plot your data. Stock. But not all these charts you can use. It depends on your data or the kind of information you want to pass before you can use any of these charts. So if you know the kind of chart or the kind of chart you want, you can go straight and select from what you have here. But if you want a recommended one, you click on this chart and look for the one you wanted. If anyone you wanted, you come here and click OK. With this, my table has been represented by this chart. This is a column chart. And your chart also, you can edit your chart. You can format your chart. To edit your chart or format your chart, what will you call? You find out that with this chart, there is additional tabs on that is displayed here. You come to design. When you come to design, you have different type of chart here. You can decide to change as you are clicking. Your chart is changing. Whichever one you clicked is what will your chart will be showing. It now depends on you how you want your chart to look like. Now, to edit your chart also, you can look at these two. You have chart element and you have chart style. When you click on this chart element, it will give you all elements of your chart. If you want an axis title, you see that when I place my cursor on axis title, when you look at that chart, you will see axis title based there. I don't want axis chart title. Your chart title will come to the top if you want chart title. Data label. Data label is that you want all the information relating to that data to be there. If I uncheck this now, you find out that the values that is showing on my chart is gone. We have grid line. Grid line is all this line. I don't want the grid line. I click, you find out that the grid line is gone. Legend. Legend is all this that you're having here, but I don't want legend. I click on it. My legend is gone. So with this, I need chart title. I click on my chart title. Your chart title here, you can come here and edit. This is analysis products per products. The way you like, you can decide it to what do I call, you can decide it anything that you can simply understand is what you put on your chart analysis, on your chart title. So with this, I've said I've done a chart of my pivot table. Now, one thing I can do again is that I want to create another pivot table. But instead of going back to my data, click pivot table or this, I can simply copy this. When I can simply copy this and paste it in another distance. What I will just need to do is that I will just come to this panel. What I don't want, I will remove. Whatever I don't want, I will remove. He has given me another pivot table box. Now, what do I want to do? I want to analyze my products. I want to analyze my products per sales rep. Sales rep. I want to see performing sales rep. This is it. So with this also, I want to create a chart. Insert. I want a pie chart. I click on it. This is my pie chart. Now I want to format my chart. I want this. I want this. Then let me see what I want. Yes, bring the chart title. You can decide to change the chart title. This is sales per sales rep. So with this, you can simply talk about this chart. This is your legend. This is your legend here. You can simply say, okay, from this chart, you can see holistically, I don't need to bring this table to, I don't need to present this table. When I just present this chart, I can tell them sales rep 2 is performing because the whole revenue, the total revenue for the period, the sales rep 2 has brought in 69% of the total revenue. And why sales rep 1 brought in 14%. So with this is a picture representation of your table. You can change your style here on this, and here, whatever you don't want the legend, you can remove the legend. So this shows, this is representation of your data. Now it now depends on information you want to pass across that will determine what and what are you analyzing and what are you representing in your table. The last thing I want to talk about here is any question on the chart. Any question on the chart? Any question on charts?
Yeah, not at all, sir.
All right. So now the last thing I want to talk about is what we call slicer. Okay, before I go to slicer, under your chart, there is something we call sparkling lines. This sparkling line, it works with your column. Now you can use it to represent a lot of things. Now, under sparkling line, you have line, you have column, and you have win loss. Now, what you use this for is I want to represent this data in sparkling. So what I will just do is that I want to use this. It will tell you what data range. My data range is this. When I click OK, it has present this, that from bottom, it moved up to the peak and it started declining. You can change your color to change your color. You can change your color here to anything. So you can decide to show high points, low points, which is this and this. Even without coming here, I can decide to come here and do whatever I want to do here. All these are what you can show on this your chart. But the way it will be more appreciated is when you give it, you have to expand your cell before it can be properly appreciated. You can decide to change to column chart or change to wing chart. For the wing chart, assuming we have any negative figure, the way it's going to show will be something like this that you are saying. So the positive will be up while the negative will be down. And that is what makes it beautiful. But if it doesn't have positive or negative, it might not be properly being appreciated when people see it. So that is about sparkling light. Now, let me talk about conditional formatting. Conditional formatting I'm coming. Conditional formatting. This is conditional formatting. It depends on what you want to do. Highlight rule. Now, this is here. Greater than, less than, between, equal to, text to column, text that contain. So here, your conditional formatting is makes you to identify a particular information. Now, if I come to here and say, highlight cell rule, if it's greater than, when you click on greater than what? Greater than 120. What did you want to do? Light red, fill with, that is what you want there. Yellow, fill with dark color. Green, let me click on and click OK. Sorry. Highlight that's greater than 100. I'll be 1000. Let me pick again and click OK. What's happening? Sorry. Let me use the new rule. I'll come back to it. On conditional formatting, there are a lot of things. Okay. It's supposed to work. Greater than. Is it greater than? Greater than 1000. Format cells that are greater than 1000. I mean, I think there is a little challenge here. I think let me use the new rule. New rule here is you are creating your own rule. You are creating your own rule. Creating your own rule here. What are the rules? Format all cells based on their value. What value? You come here and select what you wanted. Lowest value, midpoint, maximum. So here, what is the lowest value? You indicate what the lowest value is. Then the lowest value is 50 here. If the lowest value should be colored red, the midpoint yellow, and the new one green. You click on OK. You say it has applied. It has applied. So he has ranged it for us. So you can come here. If you don't want that, or if you don't want it, you can come and clear the rows. Clear, but when you are clearing rows, clear rule from selected cell, which is the one you selected only. Clear rule from entire sheet. That is, maybe you have conditional formatting, it's different conditional formatting in a particular sheet. You want to clear it. Clear rule from this table. That is, if it's from the table, you click. So whichever one you want to do is, so when I click that, this as the conditional formatting I put is gone. Now, conditional formatting, you can use a bar, a data bar. When I click on data bar, okay, let me highlight my data. Data bar, you see, as I'm highlighting, it's showing, it's reflecting. If it is solid field you wanted, or you can click for more rule, then you create your rule that you wanted. And you can come here and choose color scale. Anyone you select will be applied to it. Also, you can use icon. You can use icon. Any of the icon you select will be applied. You find out that it's showing there. So all these things has purpose, what you use them for, and how it is being applied. So you don't just apply. You don't just apply this. So that is about conditional formatting. Then the last thing I will be talking about is the slicer. Slicer. Now, the slicer, in the place of this filter, slicer works in the place of filter. And purpose of slicer, you will know in our next class. Now, slicer is this. Slicer is a filtering tool to filter your information. Now, let me see. Let me come here and click on slicer. The slicer will bring out all your table heading. What did you wanted? Which of it do you want to create slicer for? I want to create slicer for category. I want to create slicer for the date. I think that is it. When I click OK, you find out that he has given me two. This is what I click, date slicer, and this is what I also category slicer. This slicer, you can configure it the way you want it. Now, this slicer, if I try to reduce it, you can see what I'm saying. It's not, so you can come here with this slicer, you find out that there is a what they call it, there is another tab called slicer tab. From this, you can decide to change your slicer. Your slicer is in row. You can decide to change it to columnar. You can make it column. So when you expand, so with this, I can reduce. Then you can decide to change the height and decided to change the width of your slicer. Now, I mean the button, this work with the button, why this work with the size of your slicer itself. Then you can do a lot of things. What type of style do you want? I want this style. I want this. I want this. No, it's this, this. So you choose different style you wanted. Now, your slicer is needed to be able to filter your data. And that is reason why you see from this, you see, it said report connection. Where did you want, or what did you want to connect your slicer to? When you click on it, it gave you what you have. What are you connecting? You have pivots 2. I want to connect it to pivot table 4 and pivot table 3, which means if I use this slicer, it will have effect on my pivot table 1, pivot table, all the pivot table which I've connected it to. Now with that, let's say something now. Okay, category also. Let me do this. For the category, I want to make it 3 column. I can expand. Now, I might decide to change this column. You can decide to change the name of the category. Or you come to setting, name, caption. How did you want your data to arrange? Arrange from A to Z. What item? Item without data. Visual display item with no data. Show icon with no data. Show this and that. So you can decide not to show the header in order to fit it well. I think I need to reduce this. I've brought this here. And connection. I want to connect it to this and this. Now, I want to set this. I don't want the header to show so that I can minimize space. Maybe I can maximize my space. Now, this is my slicer. I want to filter. When I click on category 1, you find out that my pivot table all my pivot table and even my chart was affected. Even the second slicer was affected. Because when I click on category 1, it's telling me category 1, I can see category 1 on the 4th, 3rd, 4th, and this. Also, category 2, you find out that my data, as I am pressing it, as I was selecting, as I'm selecting, is actually affecting all that I've done. So this is how we are going to come to the end of today's section.